What's going on? We're working on this 65 Mustang again, and since it was an automatic transmission, we're doing what every Mustang owner should be doing, and that's converting it to a 5-speed. The transmission's in it, that's all done, it's running, but we still got that automatic pedal hanger in it with the one big long brake pedal. So I need to rip that out and put in a hydraulic underdash unit setup, and that's gonna be from MalWood today. So I'm gonna pull the pedal hanger out, put it on the bench, and show you guys how to set it up and what to look out for. So stay tuned. So it's actually pretty cool. These days there's a lot of setups that you can use, which is great because back in the day you used to have to go to the junkyard and collect a bunch of stuff, Z-bars and all that, but you don't have to do that anymore, which is nice. And so the cable to me is always a no-no. Those end up wearing out and going bad. The hydraulic setup is nice. Kind of saves you a lot of hassle. So this isn't the only one I use. There's some other ones out there that are great, which I'll touch on more maybe in another video, but I'm gonna start going on this and pulling out the pedal hanger. I'll get the steering column out, the vent, the e-brake, and I'll probably detach the master cylinder and stuff like that. So I'll show you what I take out as I go prior to getting this thing out on the bench. First of all, you always want to get your seat out, pull the steering wheel, and then pull the steering column too. The seat being out is just kind of easier to, you know, make some room for you. Remove the vent cable assembly and the front of this emergency brake bracket because this whole emergency brake will be coming out, and then disconnect the master cylinder as well. You're gonna want the air vent out of your way too, mostly for when you're reinstalling the pedal hanger. Pull that cotter pin out so that you can remove this little wheel, which will allow the emergency brake arm to come down. Here's the other side of the emergency brake that you need to remove so it can come out of the firewall. And then also remove the master cylinder and these two bolts above it. This one feels like someone definitely cross-threaded it, but it's on its way out. And then the final master cylinder bolt too. All right, and just like that, we got the pedal hanger out from under the dash, so let's get it on the workbench and keep on going. All right, now that we got our pedal hanger out on this workbench, I wanted to show you guys a couple key areas that we need to pay attention to. Since this was out of an automatic, we've got this long brake pedal. So basically what I need to do, I like to keep some pedal pads around. So what I'll do is I'll lay this pedal pad down onto the automatic brake pedal, and now I'll know where I need to cut off the extra part of the brake pedal because now I need to have some smaller pedals that will be real close together. So I'm gonna mark that out, cut it off, and then get the new pedal pad on. I'll get some nice new ones to put on. This is just kind of a mock-up piece. And then we'll continue on with getting the brake pedal out, putting in this new cross shaft, getting the MalWood unit in, and getting the brake pedal back together and setting up the unit. So let's start. All right, I got this brake pedal marked out. So I'm going to go ahead and do a cut on it, round off the corners, and we'll see if this brake pedal pad will fit on yet. If not, we'll just do a little bit of trimming to keep it going. All right, now let's see if we can fit this brake pedal pad on here. All right, just like that, we got the pedal now converted to a manual brake pedal. Now we'll actually have enough clearance to get the clutch pedal in there. All right, I'm gonna take out these bushings that are factory and install the supplied ones. All right, now we can continue on with our setup. I will take the other remaining nylon bushings that they gave me with the kit, get them installed into the pedal hanger. Then I'll take my brake pedal and I will install my cross shaft. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of red Loctite and put it on both of these bolts that go into the cross shaft. I can put this bolt in that goes onto the passenger side. Then on this small 3/8 bolt, I'm gonna put a dash of red Loctite on there as well. And I will get this installed into this little square hole in the side of the pedal hanger. All right, I got this cross shaft nice and tight, and our brake pedal still operates properly. It's not bound up. And I like to kind of fine tune this bolt that goes through the underdash unit into the pedal hanger. And I like to make sure that it's snugged up, but not too tight, because I still want some movement on this clutch pedal, and I want it to snap back nicely, but not have a bunch of play side to side like this. On some applications, this will get set up ahead of time, and it'll be a little bit loose, which allows movement in this pedal. So I always put a little red Loctite on here and get it tightened up until maybe it's just a little too tight and this doesn't return back nicely, and then back it off just a tiny bit, maybe a 1/16 of a turn or less is usually plenty. All right, now we can put the supply line back on this clutch master and get it clamped on so that we can then hook this up to the reservoir that's mounted to the firewall. This side here will get a -3AN line or -4AN line, whichever one you're using. That will go to the hydraulic throwout bearing. And the last things I'll do before I put it in, I'll paint up this brake pedal real quick, and I'll need to end up putting some trim around this clutch pedal pad, and then a new pedal pad and trim on here too. And then we're pretty much set and ready to go back in. Okay, so we got our new bushings installed into our pedal. Our pedal pad is actually cut down, so we've got this old pedal rubber pad mocked up on there now. I'll get a nice new one when we're all set. These bushings you can actually see are in good shape. When you have a manual pedal hanger, you'll actually see these will be completely worn through sometimes, and you'll be wearing into this sheet metal of the pedal hanger, and that's a bad deal. It does not work out well at all. So replace those if you have a manual pedal hanger and they're in bad shape before you move on. All right, I got the brake pedal painted, and now I just need to get a pedal pad on its way with some trim, and we're all set. I'm gonna load this pedal hanger in, and then I'll move on to getting throwout bearing hooked up to it and the reservoir, and then at that point, you're pretty much set. Bleed the clutch, and you're done. All right, I found what looks to be a pretty good spot to run the line from the master to the throwout bearing. So I'm gonna run it up and make sure that spot that I found inside the car looks good from underneath the car as well, so I don't go drilling through anything too important. All right, now that the reservoir's in place and I've drilled this hole right here next to my e-brake assembly, I ran my pressure line through here, and I'm going to connect it up to the master now. Also, by the way, don't be too cool for school and don't put in a grommet, because you definitely want that there to protect this line. You don't want to have a clutch failure down the road because you didn't put a grommet in. This is in and tight. Also, make sure once you go back under the car, make sure that this line is routed away from the exhaust, and if you have to, put on a heat shield or some heat insulation around the line or something, just to keep this thing cool and keep all air bubbles out of this system. All right, now it's time to fill up this reservoir. Don't fill it up all the way, fill it up halfway. And if you're lucky, when you're bleeding this system, you'll get it done in 5 or 10 minutes if you're lucky. but you know, sometimes it can take half an hour. The method I'm going to use, which is what they recommend for this throwout bearing, is just to fill up the system, and then I'll push the clutch pedal down, pull it back up, push it down, pull it back up. Do that for 10 minutes or so, making sure that this never runs dry. And I should be good because that throwout bearing should have been bled from the factory, but they do give you a bleeder line on top. So if needed, you can always hold the clutch pedal down, crack the bleeder, and do it kind of that way as well. So I've been at the bleeding for probably 15 minutes now, and I don't have a pedal yet. I've only filled this thing up a little bit, nothing too crazy, maybe you know, that much of the reservoir dropped. So I'm gonna go under there and crack the bleeder that's on the top line and let gravity help me out a little bit. I got this filled up probably 3/4 of the way now, so I'm gonna let it drain out and hopefully get to half or 3/4. Or half or a third. And hopefully that should help me out with the bleeding process. It never really seems to go as easy as they say it's going to, but I'll get that done and we'll see how that does. All right, so I cracked the bleeder down there, got a bunch of air out of it. So this drained down probably to about halfway or so. So I'm gonna keep doing the pedal trick, see what that got us. Hopefully we got some pedal now. All right, great. Well, hey, we got a good clutch pedal now. And feels like it's supposed to, all the air's out of it, but you probably want to always count on going underneath and cracking that bleeder because it always seems to be that way. Hey, now we're talking. This thing's dialed now. Perfect. All right, well, hey, listen, thanks for watching. This thing's all wrapped up. We got the MalWood underdash unit installed. It's all hooked up, the reservoir's on, and did some bleeding on this thing. It took a while, but don't get discouraged. I had to crack that bleeder probably 4 or 5 times before it got done, but it's all set up now and it feels great. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Take care.